the control over music and culture, and finding out about certain musicians that I held in high esteem that were, you know, Luciferian and other things like that. And it really, still to this day, weighs on my mind, because I haven't stopped listening to like Led Zeppelin or other bands that are notorious for dabbling in what is known as Luciferianism. They call it the occult, but the occult just means it's hidden. And the rituals of the Masonic orders, especially Aleister Crowley and what he was involved in, certainly, is a really startling truth to find out. And we have been conditioned to love these people. This is the religion they want. I guess they have the freedom of religion, but the problem is that they're trying to manipulate you and take power to you to give power to Lucifer. And what I mean by that, and I'll prove it, is that it was put into place by the CIA once again. You know, it seems like they're always involved as a operation of MKUltra, and the information that I'm about to give to you can be obtained in Secrets and Lies: A History of CIA Mind Control and Germ Warfare, written by Gordon Thomas. Now, again, it was really hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that all the things I was into, I was a hippie type of kid, and it's funny because I grew up, I went to high school in Bayside High School, and I grew up, and it was like we were in the hippie group. We were like the burnout hippies. And that was the culture that we were under, and it was created by the CIA. And it was put into place by a couple of programs. And we know, of course, that the acid generation came out of the Ken Kesey was a MKUltra. It all comes out of the MKUltra. This is all part of MKUltra. But MKUltra Operation Often, initially they were going to be using psychics to tune in on frequencies in the Soviet Union, believe it or not. I mean, this is where our tax dollars went at that time. But then they hit on something really smart. I mean, instead of using just palm readers and going into this whole thing about that, they wanted to manipulate the population to make the devil. Okay, this symbol, by the way, came out of the 1980s. A lot of bands, think of the Dio symbol, you know, the devil's horns, you know. It's a Masonic symbol that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. They talk about it being Malocchio if you're Italian, but it really, you know, that's what it's called, but it's really a Masonic symbol. You can call it Malocchio if you want, but it's a Masonic symbol. And I hate to use Ronnie James Dio since my wife loves him so much as an example, and he passed, and I love his music as well. But the truth of the matter is that, yeah, you're dealing with a person that was a rock and roller that conformed to the metal style. It was really different. Started to turn. There was a turn in the music business in the late 60s and early 70s towards this sort of darker, satanic, for lack of a better word, groove. I mean, Zeppelin, Sabbath, all the bands that came out of that. And it went on for a long time. You know, Maiden, all these bands, Priest, a lot of them. Operation Orphan delved into demonology and Satanism. And in April of 1972, an approach was made to the Monsignor in charge of exorcisms at the Catholic Archdiocese of New York. Of course, he flatly refused to cooperate, but undismayed, the agency, that's the CIA, got their behaviorists to approach Sybil Leek.
Oh, I had the most fantastic childhood because I was born in England but spent a lot of the time in the south of France. And my father was a very scholarly gentleman, and people like H.G. Wells would visit us.
H.G. Wells.
And Lawrence of Arabia and the Sitwells. And I really didn't know anyone when I was a child unless they were famous.
And it became a natural part of your everyday life.
It became a part of my everyday life.
Sybil Leek, a Houston sorceress who cast spells with the help of a pet jackdaw named Hotfoot Jackson. Now, with the bird perched on her shoulders, Mrs. Leek gave two very nice gentlemen from Washington a fast course on the current state of black magic in the United States. 400 covens operated by 5,000 initiated witches and warlocks. These people were the foot soldiers of a prediction industry which supported 10,000 full-time fortune tellers and 200,000 part-timers, as well as a growing publishing business in tarot cards and factories producing a wide range of anti-Christian tokens. Satan was not only alive, but thriving in the country. To corner him for the agency, Dr. Gottlieb, a little appropriate interjection, my good friend, Barbara Hartwell, worked for the CIA from 1969 to 1994. She was an MKUltra mind control victim. And Dr. Sidney Gottlieb was her handler. Dr. Sidney Gottlieb decided that the devil must be made respectable. Working through conduits, he financed a course in sorcery at the University of South Carolina. 250 students enrolled for lessons devoted to fertility and initiation rites and raising the dead. Buckley, that's William Buckley, who was killed in Beirut, unfortunately, by keeping his mouth shut, karma caught up with him, and he died most likely in a coffin-like box that they kept him in for 23 and a half hours a day for some 400 days, and he suffered and died. He was, of course, a CIA agent. He knew about everything that was happening with MKUltra, and really, I guess he just followed orders. He didn't do much differently than a Nazi. But so there was a whole bunch of money thrown at this, of course, and it started with the fact that they realized that there was this huge market, and these bands, like I said, came out of this market, and next thing you know, all the record companies became corporate, big corporation companies, 70s and 80s, 90s, and as we know it is today. And the music business forever changed, but at that time specifically, it was, again, these bands were rising up that I all, and to this day, I mean, I love many of the songs, love the bands and everything else, and it's like I struggle with it because, I mean, they're bad. It's just like you're a cog in the wheel, and it's weird. The whole thing is just very, very tough for me to comprehend sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, honestly. But Operation Orphan not only wanted to make Satan respectable, but that's why you started seeing all the skull and bone shirts and all of these dark figures and all these dark comic books and all of this negative stuff and the horror movies and everything else like that. That's what that all was about. And it was to try to lure people to do evil. I think there's no other way to put it. In Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, he not only exposed sex magic rituals of the Luciferian Masonic Order, that was the secret society that was depicted, that has no name. The success of the order is the fact that it has no name. But he revealed secrets of the highest levels of Masonry, secrets of the blood ritual sacrifices and sex magic. He also revealed how once one takes an oath to be a member of such society, the society takes precedence over everything, over their lives, their family, and if you go against the order, you will meet a gruesome, horrible death. And so well kept are the secrets, the hidden knowledge of the Kabbalah, and the hidden knowledge of the mystery schools of Babylon, that in the movie Eyes Wide Shut, Nicole Kidman managed to keep her membership in this society, secret society, a secret from her own husband. This illustrates how successful they are at keeping secrets, that a husband would not know that his own wife were a member. Operation Often brought legitimacy to Satanism, legitimacy to the occult and to the Luciferian doctrine, used in a way to manipulate the response to information that is received by the viewers and listeners of music and film and even print, readers. This is why there's such a prevalence of skulls and demons and all of these icons put on t-shirts, made into trinkets, and the people are unwilling and unknowing participants in evil. Events of the past 40 years are evidence of it. So the result of Operation Often has created those who are truly Luciferian, truly worship evil, Satan, and those who are unwilling participants due to pop culture influence. Operation Often continues to this day.